Money on my mind, gotta hustle and grind. Financial literacy always on my mind. I'm stacking knowledge, no time to waste. Gotta invest smart, gotta keep up the pace. I'm reading books, learning all the tricks, studying the market, making calculated picks.
I'm small. Whoa. Okay, fun start. Obviously, we do these one take. This is what happens sometimes. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Reckless Ray and we are back at it again for another episode of Future Financial Strategy, specifically the Robinhood update for March 4th of 2025. Markets are ugly, but we're going to jump right into it. Before we do that, make sure you hit that like on the way in. If you've been here more than twice, I welcome you to join the Wolf Pack and hit that subscribe button. Also, if you're getting value from these episodes, updates, what have you, share it with your communities as well. Share it with your friends. Share it with somebody you care about, because it's no fun getting rich by yourself. Let's get to work, people. Bringing it up. We're looking at big reds all over the place today. All over the place. We're one day into the liberation of the United States. The tariffs, that conversation has come to fruition, and apparently it was worse than everybody was thinking it was going to be. Trump doubled down, and frankly, we're here for it. The way that I'm looking at it, at least right now, is touch and go. We're waiting to see the results. Obviously, one day in is not going to be indicative of the results. Most of the things that have taken place are lagging benefits, which means you do not get to just have the cake, instant gratification, TV dinner, fast food, fast everything, swipe right, swipe left. Stuff takes time. So as far as I'm looking at it right now, he's already stated that he doesn't care about the market. We've been doing more than well. We've had our time in the sun. We've had free money. We've had increases in net worth year over year, month over month, week over week. And as I've said multiple times, I made money under Biden, did not like that administration. I'll make money under Trump. No one's coming to save me. Asset holders win in the long term, regardless, because the debasement of the dollar is going to continue. The price of Bitcoin is going to keep increasing. Everything else is going to lose value against Bitcoin over the long term. Those are my beliefs. That's what I've seen to be true. And yeah, so I'm not super worried about it. I consider this paying my fair share, I guess. Even though I don't make as much as those who everybody wants to pay their fair share, but I'm in the markets and I've been winning hard. Going to continue to win hard. So this slight inconvenience, I'm waiting and I'm reserving judgment until we see some of the results. But so far, the stuff that I have seen, I'm not complaining about. Jobs are coming back. People should be able to, before I can even help you, you have to have some income coming in. You have to be able to get a decent paying job. You have to be able to solidify yourself. You should be able to come out of school and get a job. That should be an option, especially since most of your jobs are getting replaced by AI anyway. So I'm seeing some jobs. Obviously, they're not going to be jobs today. You got to build a factory. You got to refabricate these factories. You got to recommission these factories for all these auto industry and steel jobs. They got to get them back open. That's not going to be a today thing. Could it be a later this year thing? Maybe in some cases. Could it be a next year thing? Most likely. So what am I doing right now? I'm buying. I am going shopping. The market is looking ugly. So we are having some red days here. This is showing the Robinhood portfolio. We are down. We're down 6.42%. And this portfolio just started. So, it just is what it is. Where are we sitting at share-wise? We've got 14.87 shares of LFGY. We have 12.8 shares of YBTC. disregard the Amazon stock. That was some fractional shares I got when I set up the account, and I set up the account wrong. So yeah, that's just kind of what it is. We've got some 9 shares of COIW from Roundhill. So we got two Roundhills and a Yield Max. And this portfolio, since we're going weekly, is going to be heavy Roundhill because honestly, LFGY is the only weekly that I like right now out of Yield Max. It just is what it is. It's par for the course for my thesis. I did not have good results with YMAX. Did not want to get involved with my YMAG. Yeah, it's just, and when I say I didn't have good results, I am not capable, and I think most people aren't, which being on Reddit and reading the comments and reading the meltdowns and reading people freaking out over nothing, because they don't have a long-term plan, they don't have a thesis, they don't have a core thesis that they abide by. And I made the mistake myself because I was like, oh, maybe I should diversify. Probably the dumbest thing that I ever said to myself, considering I'm not rich yet and diversification is a wealth protection tool. But I bought YMAX and I was like, oh, I'll use that. It'll balance my portfolio out. It'll give me a little diversification, just at least make these guys think I'm trying to not be a complete Bitcoin bro degenerate. And it didn't work. And the reason it didn't work is because when the price went down, when I started seeing what seemed to be, at least from my perspective, NAV erosion, because you have the underlyings going down and you're paying out and it's not catching up with the payout, which actually is what NAV erosion is. I could not reconcile it in my brain why I was dealing with the losses on that and watching those numbers go red. Now, I see LFGY go down. I do not care. I buy more. Simple. I see YBTC go down. I do not care. I buy more. Now, my Coinbase weekly, I look at that one kind of sideways, but it's not going down as bad as the Yield Max monthly that I was holding. So I look at it sideways, but it's within the thesis, and I'm like, it's diversified within a targeted space. So I understand that if Bitcoin goes down, Coinbase is going down, YBTC is going down, LFGY is going to go down, Misty is going to go down in my other portfolio. It makes sense. And I can deal with that. But I can't deal with, I don't understand this. I don't know why I'm holding this thing just to have a bunch of diversification when I'm really over here for like 5 funds. I also don't understand why I'm capping the upside, dragging these losers when my 5 funds are doing what they're supposed to do during the bull run when we're on the upswing. So I clipped it. And it is not a part of this weekly portfolio strategy because I didn't like it. Plain and simple. Didn't like it. Like, it did not work for me. That does not mean that it's not going to work for you, because obviously we're not giving financial advice. We're tracking my financial situation. So that is not something that was for me. The portfolio that I have, the build that I'm doing with my income strategy is aligned. The only addition, because we're now into 3 of those positions, once I get the COIW up to $500, we're going to move on and start building up the next position, which will be PLTW, which is based on Palantir. While we made some moves and adjustments, but I do like Palantir from the income perspective because it's got a lot of volatility on that position. And it's AI based, which is my backup narrative thing that I like. And then last but not least, we have QDTE, which is index based, which is the diversification for this portfolio. It's 5 ETFs. Now, what I tell everybody with the high income, high yield ETFs, it doesn't matter because I'm not dripping. I'm manually reallocating these, which kind of is not the funnest because it's going to force me to skip past COIW because you have to buy it in whole shares. You can't buy fractional shares, but everything else I'm pretty sure on this list is drippable. in the sense that, like, as I roll it over, if I'm not able to buy a full share, I can buy a partial share. But COIW, I am going to be forced into purchasing whole shares. So most likely I will be, upon every deposit, instinctively buying one share of that. Under normal circumstances, I would have just dumped everything into LFGY, which I still might. But it just kind of, it makes it a pain because, like, now COIW has to be at like the back of the drip, or it's going to have to be a secondary thought in regards to me reallocating funds and using the wheel strategy to build this portfolio up, because it does not have the ability to buy fractional shares. So I can't just roll the next position into that. I got to skip it and go to something else. So I think I'm probably going to either force myself to buy one share a month and call it good until all the other positions start kicking out enough weekly to buy a whole share or something. But we're going to wheel strategy this up. I don't believe in indefinitely dripping. I don't believe in indefinitely doing wheel strategies or any of this. The stuff that you use to get this portfolio kicking off an income amount, I believe that you need an exit. And what I mean by exit is an income where it's like, hey, at this point, I'm going to start using this. Now, for this one, this is going to be lifestyle. This is going to be a lifestyle portfolio. That's what this is turning into. I know I have my predominant income portfolio that produces an order of magnitude more than this portfolio does at present, but this is going to be tied per the strategy, per the reason for me setting up this account and this portfolio. It's going to be tied to a credit card, the Robinhood credit card, which seems like they built it specifically for me. So, they made a really good product. You catch more mice with a better mousetrap. Well, they've hit on all the key metrics with that credit card that I would want in regards to a daily driver, because it gives a good amount of cash back. So again, as a lifestyle card, we will be paying the balance on that card. The goal is to be able to pay the majority of that balance with those dividends. We will be applying for that card once this account hits $5,000. The other thing we will probably be doing is, once we do hit that metric of $5,000 and we've got that money rolling in, we're going to continue to build this portfolio up. Probably early on, we will not be utilizing that card until we get roughly, I would say probably roughly $2,500 a month. Once this is generating $2,500 a month, between all my weeklies, we will start realistically, because I don't think I spend over that. I don't really have that many expenses, and I'm not planning on growing my lifestyle a bunch, but just like covering the everyday. Obviously, we're going to be catching bills on here, all the things and stuff. I'm going to put on this card, and it'll be my daily driver. It'll be the one that sits in the wallet. We'll be retiring the Chase Sapphire Reserve, most likely, with the exception of trip planning, maybe. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I won't be using it that much. And depending on if I want to continue to pay the annual fee, we might be swapping that out with a different card. But we'll see how that goes. Like, I still got a bunch of points. I still haven't used my introductory points. So we're going to have to get on that train. Moves that we've been making, we've obviously been doing some pretty steady buys. We are above $10 a week. Our initial goal for setting up our gold membership was getting over $5 a week. We are also looking at getting a set cash reserve balance in this portfolio. I'm trying to do this portfolio right. So I really am working towards getting these first $500, all these $500 positions, which would be 5 times 5, $2,500 in here, which is halfway to our goal of 5,000, which would actually put a balance of $1,000 in each of these positions. I'm trying to hurry up and get the first 500. Once I get the first 500, I am going to institute the cash reserve, which is keeping 10% of the portfolio balance in a cash holding position so that I have a little bit of dry powder in the account for dips and swings. We're going to start doing that. With that said, we're moving forward. I'm pleased with the performance. It isn't going that bad in total return considering everything's getting snowballed, which is kind of nice. We're going to pull this screen down. Let me go back to my screen. We'll pull this screen down and we'll go into those details. I like to show the receipts always before we show the snowball analytics, so that way you guys can have the context there for that. Boom, there we go. Okay, so pulling up snowball analytics for those of you listening. Snowball Analytics is a software that focuses in, helps you kind of project out how you're doing. It also gives you a view of what your passive income percentage is, gives you your account value, all that stuff. It's not as accurate as going to the brokerage and giving the actual receipts, which is the reason we do that first. Plus, it shows that I actually hold these stocks that we're talking about over here on the Snowball Analytics page. Because, spoiler alert, because somebody got to tell the truth out here, if they're not showing their brokerage account that doesn't show your account number, I know that some of our favorite gurus like to say that his brokerage account shows his whole account number. At most, it shows your first name and the last 3 digits of the account. And if somebody can figure out your account from the last 3 digits and your first name, then God bless them. All right. If they're not showing the receipts, they can just make up whatever they want. Just so you know, you can just plug anything in here because I add this manually because it's my second one. Now, my primary one, the one that we're going to look at next week on Tuesday, that one's linked to my actual brokerage, but it doesn't update until my trades close on the brokerage. So it's actually perpetually behind as well. But the reason I like Snowball Analytics is it allows me to project out, not necessarily accurately. Like the accuracy on that should be running based on the averages of what you get paid out, and it should just update what the average payout is based on the last payout versus projecting forward based on the last payout. I don't know how hard that is to code, but just from a mathematical standpoint, that's the logical train of thought that you would have to make this a little bit more accurate. But it's better than nothing. The other thing it gives you is total return, which actually your brokerage accounts don't give you. Brokerage accounts only give you the asset value. It doesn't account for the dividends received. Now, again, being good at capital allocation is imperative if you want to go high yield. If you have a spending problem and you're doing this just to generate a boat ton of income, you're going to put yourself in a bad position because A, it's not consistent, and B, that's not good capital allocation. Like if you're bad with cash, if you're bad with cash flow, if you're bad with directing your finances, no amount of cash flow is going to fix that. This is a capital allocator's game. And I understand that you'll get on the Reddit boards and nobody's going to call it what it is. And everybody thinks that these things are just great because it's a shiny new toy and everybody's trying to get rich next Tuesday because everybody always is. There's a skill to this. And it's important to have it. So what we're looking at here is right now, total return, we are down 6.7%, which is a total of $84.12. Not the funnest, but it's going to be okay. When we look at our passive income, we are at 62.25%. Now this one, I tried it in my other high yield portfolio, my income portfolio, the predominant portfolio is probably about 40% higher in passive income than this because of the products that we have over there. But this one being weekly, we are kind of capped. Just what it is. With doing that, it's just a little bit slower rolling, but 50%, get over 50%. 50% is good too. Like, I mean, it's still, you're in degenerate territory, but it is what it is. Like, we're making it work in this one based on the parameters that we gave for the portfolio, because it'd be kind of redundant to have exactly every single of the same positions. Granted, I'm going to be tweaking a few positions over in my I've already started tweaking a few positions in my portfolio over in my predominant income portfolio based off of this portfolio, because there's some stuff that I kind of like. While I am fine waiting for income, I do like that little weekly breadcrumb. Not gonna lie, it's pretty nice. Now, is it nice enough to give up the 40%? Absolutely not. Not in that portfolio. That portfolio is built and getting beat up in its own special way, and we're not doing that. But for this portfolio, we were sticking to the weeklies. After we get to some target metrics, we might mix this up a little bit. We're definitely, since we're on the platform, going to start adding in shares of Robinhood stock. So that is going to be on my monthly purchase list. We'll be grabbing a share a month because I'm on the platform. Why wouldn't I want to be an owner in the company that I'm using, that I'm paying money to use? Like, it just makes sense. Like, I don't understand how people who use Robinhood aren't just loaded up on Robinhood stock. Like, you're paying for this already. You're paying for the service. You got to support where you're at. So we'll be doing that because, you get the shareholder meetings, you get a say. I'm just going to keep buying like it's a company that I'm using. And right now the narrative makes sense. So we're going to keep on buying. We're going to keep on trucking along and purchasing. And yeah, so that's where we're at today with their, let's see, here we go. The portfolio, we go to holdings, and see, this is another thing. Like, it's good to see where your holdings are sitting. Now, the market just got beat on. LFGY is the biggest one down. It's down total. Oh no, COIW is the biggest one that took the biggest hit, which makes sense because before I clipped the monthly yield max Coinbase one, it was taking the biggest hit in my other portfolio as well. But it's down 13.47% in total return. We're only down 6.38% on LFGY and only down 4.94% on YBTC. That's not bad. Like, total return, we can't really complain on that too much. It just is what it is. The market is doing what it's doing, and this is a buy opportunity. I'm looking at COIW is for sale. If unfortunately this isn't payday week, but if it's looking tasty and ripe on payday week, we'll be getting another share, maybe two, depends. And yeah, we're gonna keep building it up. We'll keep doing these updates as you see it grow, because, like, obviously as money comes in, we've allocated all the side hustle money. We're waiting for the tax return money to hit in that portfolio as well. That's going to be a good chunk. We're starting to, do some sell-offs. Any additional income outside of the W-2 is going into this portfolio. It will be allocated. We have a small allocation of our W-2 income that's going to this portfolio, but this isn't going to be an overnight, like, $150 gazillion in there. Like, it's not going to be a fast roller. It's going to be what it is. So we're going to keep doing these updates, and you guys will get to see it grow out. Tap in with me down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Are you guys on Robinhood? If you're on Robinhood, are you invested in Robinhood? Like, that's another question that I have. Just wondering, because, like, I don't know if people think like that. I mean, I don't think like that with everything. Like, I buy Nikes. I'm not going to invest in Nike. I don't want to do that. That's not a company that I want to necessarily own. But, like, with the financial stuff, yes, I am kind of in that camp, especially if it's something that I'm considering to use heavy, that has my attention, that that's going to be making a lot of money off me. I'm like, those companies, I'm like, yes, those are things that I would consider. And, you know, having made this transition, got in right at the right time, got to see the keynote. I like what they're doing. I think that they're positioning themselves for the future. I don't necessarily agree with all the practices that they have done in the past, but hopefully as these lines are getting blurred and they're breaking out and kind of getting their feet under them and offering more services, it actually seems like a platform where average Joe like myself that goes to work 40 plus hours a week, that's putting in probably I'd say 50 to 70 hours within all the other productive activities that are income generating throughout my week. They're actually doing stuff to help cater to those of us who are actually trying to make a move from one space, one class to another class, like those of us who are actually wealth focused. So I like that. It's a company I'd want to own. So it's going on to my list. I'm going to probably have no more. I'm probably looking at getting a compiled list of 5 to 10 companies that I would just want to buy indefinitely, and then look at those companies, figure out when they're on sale, and just make large purchases on those indefinitely. MicroStrategy is number one on that list. So yeah, we're going to be out of here, and we will see you next week for the next update of the Robinhood portfolio. That'll be it'll be a pre-payday update. So the update after that, I'll actually have those numbers. But yeah, till next week, people, it's your boy Reckless Raid and Arrow, and we are up out of here. Peace. Oh, we're not up out of here quite yet. Now we're up out of here.
Money on my mind, yeah. Focus, got no time for games, nah. I don't play, man, I'm all about that financial literacy. Investing in my future, building generational wealth. Dollar bills, they be calling my name, but I ain't chasing fame, I'm chasing change. Learn the game, now I'm playing it smart. Putting my money to work, it's an art. I'm stacking paper, building my own empire. No more living check to check, I'm getting higher. Investing in stocks, real estate, and more. Gotta secure the bag, that's what I came for.